Hello and welcome to My Retired Life. I'm Scott, and today I'm in North Mountain Park. Something a little different for my videos. Usually I'm sitting behind a bench or sitting on a picnic table. Today we're going for a hike. We're going to talk about why you should give yourself permission to enjoy retirement. Many people, when they retire, they get very guilty. They feel guilty because they're not working. It's a change of life, right? A whole new stage. Now what happens is, and I will show some of this the scenery in the desert here in a minute. Now what happens is when you retire, things change overnight. Especially if you haven't prepared for what's to come. For me, I retired early and I still advocate for retiring early. And there's reasons why, because life is short, right? The more time you have to yourself and enjoy the lifestyle that you worked for, then the better. My story was very simple. I wanted to retire at 55. I did all my research prior to that. I set a date, I planned, and I succeeded. I worked very hard. Both my wife and I made a lot of sacrifices and savings to do this. But once you get there, whether you retire at 55 or 65, once you get there, you almost feel guilty because there's no clock. You don't have a clock to go in time to. It's your own time. You've never managed your time before, unless you ran your own business. But if you worked for a company, you had to be there at 8 o'clock and on the road, for me in my case, when it was required. So a lot of people feel guilty about retiring, and they shouldn't. Not necessarily always guilty either. It's they've lost their purpose because they used to go to work, and then all of a sudden, again, if you plan for it, retirement, you slip into it nice and easy. But if you don't, let's say you got fired late in life and you decide to retire, or you hurt yourself, or the company closed or something like that and it was abrupt. Well, now you're retired and you have to deal with it, right? So give yourself, the very first thing is, give yourself permission to enjoy it. Your retirement's going to change completely, especially if it was abruptly, or you didn't want to retire, or you weren't ready to retire. No matter what, when you retire, you've earned it. So make sure that you don't feel bad, indignant, or guilty in any way, shape, or form. You've earned that. You put your time in. You are entitled to getting that enjoyment out of life. Another reason why you should give yourself permission to enjoy it, retirement is finite. It's not indefinite, it's finite. You got to enjoy them when you can, because as you get older, you're not going to be, and believe me, I've been talking to a lot of people in this 55 plus community. They're older and they've got problems. They can't do what they did when they were first retired. So you've earned it. Time is only finite, right? You've only got so many good years. So give yourself permission to enjoy those good years. It doesn't matter where you take them or what you do with them. If it's gardening, fine. If it's travel, fine. If it's soldering things together or welding or whatever it is, enjoy it. It's your time. You've earned it. Pretty soon you might not be able to bend down and weld or do carpentry. It's just one of those things. Enjoy it because your health is good. If you don't enjoy it, I can't emphasize enough. Your good years are when you retire, when you can. Like if you're retired at 65, enjoy them. It's just one of those things that you cannot deviate. You can't change time. You can't change your body. It's going to get worse. in your retirement, make sure that you go after passions that you had when you were younger. You have to make the most of it, right? You just have to. There's no sense being guilty about your past, whether it's family relationships, work, anything. This is you. Nobody's going to change. Nobody's going to go, Scott, come on, let's go. I have to tell myself, Scott, let's go. Make this video. I had to say, Scott, you got to make a video. Let's go. So I do. And I do enjoy making these videos. And hopefully some of this wisdom will pass on. But there's only so much time in the day. And there's so much time in the rest of your life. If you retire at 65, there's that video, whoops, in this corner up here, 66.1 is when you start, the average age where people start feeling chronic symptoms. Now, do you want to feel chronic symptoms all the time? Or do you want to do your retirement with no pain? Don't ever let anybody think or tell you that you shouldn't be retired. Or if you need to, semi-retired. You work sometimes, right? What happens? If you need the benefits, the healthcare benefits or something because you can't afford it, do that. It's not about the money at that point, it's about the benefits sometimes. But this thing here, this video in particular, is about giving yourself permission to do what you want and not feel guilty. Right? You can't feel guilty. I'm out here doing my thing and I'm having a great time. Now, is it something that I could have done a couple days ago? Yeah, I could have, but I didn't. I did it now because it worked out. A couple days ago, I was busy. And I'm always busy for some reason. But don't feel guilty ever about retiring early. And if you plan it right, which I think I did pretty well, if you plan it right, man, it's the best gig ever. I'm going to change something on my title saying retirement, best gig ever, because it is. This video was all about giving yourself permission to enjoy the rest of your life once you retire. Whether you're forced into retirement or whether you did it on your own. Give yourself permission to enjoy that retirement. Don't feel guilty. You've earned it. You worked hard for it. You put your time in. You planned. You did all the things necessary so you can enjoy your retirement. So enjoy your retirement. And if you're going to enjoy your retirement, you can check out this video or this video. It's just retirement videos. And let's call this one done.